Hi, this is Father Jim Martin. I'm culture editor of America magazine, and I'm here on our continuing series of local pilgrimages. As you can probably see from the sign, we're at the shrine of Saint Frances Xavier Cabrini in the upper part of Manhattan, not too far from America magazine. Mother Cabrini, as she's known, was born in 1850 in Milan, and like a lot of saints, she suffered from ill health. She tried to join some religious communities, but she was dissuaded. Her local parish priest, however, thought that she might be good in taking over an orphanage, and so with his help, she took over a local orphanage and did very well. She persuaded several of the women with whom she worked at the orphanage to start a religious order, which she founded, called the Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart. But it wasn't really clear what they were going to do, whether or not they were going to stay in Italy or go to the United States, where she had been encouraged to go. Finally, she went to Pope Leo XIII, and Mother Cabrini had asked him whether or not she should go to China, and he said, "Your mission lies not in the East, but in the West, in the United States." When Mother Cabrini reached New York with her sisters, she had been told that Bishop Corrigan, the local bishop, was going to meet her there, but actually no one met her there. And when Bishop Corrigan found out that they had arrived there, he told her that she was really not needed and had in fact sent a letter to her in Italy. So Bishop Corrigan told her to go back to Italy, and she remained firm, like many women religious in the face of intransigence. She said, "Your Excellency, in America I stay," and she did. Mother Cabrini is probably best known as the first citizen saint of the United States. She was the first naturalized citizen to be canonized. She's also known really as the patron of immigrants, and that's really what she did in New York City and what she's known for. When she arrived in New York City, there were 50,000 Italian immigrants desperately in need of help, and so her sisters set up orphanages and schools especially, and one of them is here right behind me. Interestingly, Mother Cabrini never really mastered the English language, but her accent and her lack of mastery didn't prevent her from doing great work. By the end of her life, she had founded over 50 foundations or different communities for her sisters and schools all over the country. Mother Cabrini traveled all over America and Central and South America establishing foundations. At one point she was asked to take over a hospital in New York City, but she was afraid of doing that. She balked at that request until she had a dream where she saw the Blessed Mother caring for patients in a hospital. And when she asked Mary in the dream why she was doing that, Mary said to her, "Because you're not." And that convinced her, as it probably would anyone, to take over the hospital. Part of the shrine here is a beautiful chapel in which Mother Cabrini's remains are under glass for people to come and pray before, to ask her intercession. It also functions as a parish church. And as also part of the chapel are beautiful mosaics in a kind of 1950s, 1960s style that show various scenes from the life of Frances Xavier Cabrini, including her famous meeting with Pope Leo, where he said, "Not in the East, but in the West," indicating to her her future mission in New York City. There's also a vitrine, a glass case filled with second-class and third-class relics, things that she used or things that she wore, some clothing, her shoes, her tiny worn, cracked shoes are there, tickets from her canonization, her rosary beads are there. It's quite beautiful. The day we were there at the shrine, there was a lovely missionary sister of the Sacred Heart and a laywoman worker who told us that Mother Cabrini had a very big heart, but also strong hands, and she did not brook opposition. She was helped out by a lot of wealthy Italian immigrants who helped her mission, but she also decided what she wanted to do and where she wanted to do it. So one and another, a very long line of strong, indomitable, and holy women religious in the United States. By the time that Mother Cabrini died in 1917, there were over 1,000 sisters in the Missionary Sisters of the Sacred Heart, and they had over 50 foundations that she had personally founded. Mother Cabrini is remembered as the patroness of immigrants. She's very beloved in New York City, and she is one of the great American saints. This is Father Jim Martin on one of our local pilgrimages for America Magazine.